Chapter 28 Pandora's Box. On Monday, the day that Phoebe was supposed to give her oral report on Pandora, she was a wreck. When Mr. Berkway bounded into the room, Phoebe said that her heart was hurting and asked if she could see the nurse. Mr. Berkway said, "Why don't you get started with your report? And if you still don't feel well in a few minutes, you can stop and go to the nurse." "I'm not malingering," she said. "Malingering? What a magnificent word," Mr. Berkway said. Phoebe was afraid of Mr. Berkway. She was completely convinced that he was a murderer. Her hands shook as she picked up her notes and walked to the front of the room. She looked around. Beth Ann was filing her nails, and Mary Lou was smiling at Alex. Ben was busy drawing his cartoons and passing them to anyone who would take them. Several people were yawning. It was not the ideal audience. Phoebe began in a quivering voice. "For some reason, Ben already talked about my topic, Pandora, when he did this report on Prometheus." She seemed relieved that Prometheus came out correctly and not as porpoises. "However, Ben made a few little mistakes about Pandora." Everyone turned around to stare at Ben. "I did not," he said. "Yes, you did," Phoebe said. Her lip trembled. "As I was saying, Ben made a few tiny little mistakes about Pandora. Pandora was not sent to a man as a punishment, but as a reward." "Was not," Ben said. "Was too," Phoebe said. Mr. Berkway said, "Phoebe, if you please." "As I was saying," Phoebe continued, "Zeus decided to give man a lovely present, since man seemed a little lonely down there on earth, with only the animals to keep him company. So Zeus made a sweet and beautiful woman, and then he invited all the gods to dinner. It was a very civilized dinner, with matching plates." Mary Lou and Ben exchanged an eyebrow message. "At this civilized dinner, Zeus asked the gods to give the beautiful woman presents, to make her feel like a welcome guest." Phoebe glanced at me. "They gave her all kinds of wonderful things, a fancy shawl, a silver dress, beauty." Ben interrupted. "I thought you said she was already beautiful." "I know. They gave her more beauty. Are you satisfied?" Her lip was no longer trembling. Now she was blushing. "The gods also gave her the ability to sing, the power of persuasion, a gold crown, flowers, and many truly wonderful things such as that. Because of all these gifts, Zeus named her Pandora, which means the gift of all." Her heart attack was apparently subsiding. She was getting into it. "There were two other gifts that I have not mentioned yet. One of them was curiosity. This is why all women are curious. By the way, because it was a gift given to the very first woman." Ben said, "I wish she had been given the gift of silence." "As I was saying," Phoebe continued, "Pandora was given curiosity. Here was one more gift too, or there was one more gift too, and that was a beautiful box covered in gold and jewels. But, and this is very important, she was forbidden to open the box." Ben said, "Then why did they give it to her?" He was beginning to irritate Phoebe, you could tell. She said, "That's what I'm telling you. It was a present." "But why did they give her a present that she couldn't open?" Phoebe looked puzzled. I don't know. It's just in the story. As I was saying, Pandora was not supposed to open the box. But because she had been given ever so much curiosity, she really, really, really wanted to know what was inside. So one day she opened the box. "I knew it," Ben said. "I knew she was going to open the box the minute you said that she was not supposed to open it." Misako raised her hand. Phoebe sighed. "Do you have a question?" "What is in the box?" "As I was about to say before Ben interrupted me, inside the box were all the evils in the world." "What is evils?" Shiguru said. "As I was about to explain, inside the box were all the evils of the world, such as hatred, envy, plague, sickness, cholesterol." Mr. Berkway scratched his head. He looked as if he might interrupt, but he didn't. Phoebe continued, "There were brain tumors and sadness. There were lunatics and kidnapping and murderers." She glanced at Mr. Berkway before rushing on. "And all the kind of thing. Pandora tried to close the lid. She really tried when she saw all the horrible things that were coming out of it, but she could not get it closed at the time. And this was why there are all the evils in the world. There was only one good thing in the box."